As you guys may well know, Andrew Wilson is suing somebody named Tilly for essentially calling him an essayer. And he said that if she does not apologize to him in a public video, then he will, if she doesn't do that, he will sue her for, I think, defamation. Okay. Like in the UK. So the specific place where I feel as though people get that label for Andrew Wilson is specifically this debate. Okay, this clip, this debate. All right, so this is the cream of the crop. This is it. This is what began it. Okay, this is patient zero. This is ground zero. All right, this is it. So I am keen to see what is the full context of this, because from what little context I've seen, I don't know if more context is needed, to be frank. So yeah, I guess we'll see. All right, so here we go.
And then, like I said before,
oh, this person is not Tilly, by the way. Okay, this person is another person. But
the exaltation of Inyanya, that's thought to be one of the oldest poems, which is reflecting the Sumerian goddess.
Do you agree that Christianity is patriarchal?
Yes.
Okay. Is it true in Christianity
Genesis,
that we elevate and venerate the Virgin Mary?
I don't know what you mean by venerate.
We venerate. We say prayers.
I mean, sure.
Yeah, we venerate.
I don't know.
We venerate the Virgin Mary, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So the thing is that even if it is the case that there's female goddesses,
yeah,
just like there were in other pagan traditions, that doesn't mean that that's a matriarchal society.
Well, how would you define a matriarchal society then?
Women are in charge.
I would say it would be
rule of the father is patriarchy.
Well, so I would say prior to 8000 BC, we lived a more egalitarian society, leaning more towards matriarchy because of paternity uncertainty, as well.
okay, I just want to say that I do not endorse this woman's beliefs. Okay, all right, whatever the fuck that she may say. Okay, she could be entirely retarded. Okay, so you know what? I'm just going to say that ahead of time, all right?
As essentially just the relationship within tribes in order to guarantee...
How does paternity uncertainty assist with your point that these are matriarchal societies?
Well, I said egalitarians, who essentially were men and women built society together. I would say they would lead towards matriarchy because obviously at that time, survival of tribes is most important, and obviously having children, that's...
Oh, like the cavemen? Yeah. I think that has a better point, right? If she's talking about, listen, okay, if she's talking about like cavemen, fair enough, all right.
Survive, and the caregiving and nurturing of children.
But I don't know if she is
fulfilled by the role of women.
Yeah, what makes you think that women had a choice in that?
I'm not saying that they did.
Yeah, so then it's not matriarchal then.
It absolutely. What I said egalitarian.
It's not even
times.
egalitarian.
It's essentially
if women have
men
a choice,
and women working together.
If women don't have a choice, do you think that that's them working with men?
What do you mean having a choice?
Like, why if man goes bonk on head and you get, how is that a choice? How's that equality and egalitarianism?
Well,
I don't think women were threatened like that in like fucking caveman day type shit. No, the fuck.
I don't know why you're just assuming. I would say that like the idea of became into existence like with agriculture.
What? What do you? So you think that men weren't before then?
Okay, I don't know about that one. What the fuck?
No, I don't.
Oh, and
because
ooh. Okay, never mind. She's retarded too. But you know what? We'll see. Okay. Again, this is about Andrew's own comments. Okay.
I don't
What's
think
your evidence for that?
I don't think they understood men's role when it came to how children...
That'd be a quick way to be exiled from an early hominid tribe. Yeah, but like that means still existed, right? I don't know. It's such a weird
how
take.
women became pregnant and how children were created.
What did that have to do with them just being horny?
I don't think men grape because they're horny.
Why not? What do you mean? So wait a second.
Because
let me get
an act of humiliation. And
so primitive man, right? You agree with me that Homo sapiens have been around for about 100,000 years?
I think it's 300,000.
At least 100,000.
Yeah.
Okay, but we didn't come in. So
she said 300,000.
Understood men's role when it came to how women became pregnant and how children were created.
What did that have to do with them just being horny?
I don't think men grape because they're horny.
Why not? What do you mean? So wait a second.
Because
let me get
it's an act of humiliation. And
so primitive man.
I heard 300,000. Okay. If these are the women that they're putting up against Andrew Wilson, yeah, I kind of understand.
And
I understand why they put him in these like winning scenarios, right? I understand why they put him there because, you know, like they're setting up these debates in such a way where they're putting up these kooks, right?
right? You agree with me that Homo sapiens have been around for about 100,000 years?
I think it's 300,000.
At least 100,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
What
but
the
we didn't
fuck?
come in. So we actually operated the same way we are right now. We have the same brains, same physicality, basically same everything. Difference.
Australopithecus, the earliest version of the predecessor of Homo sapiens is 30,000 years ago. Okay, so she probably misspoke. Probably. Okay, I don't know. Homo sapiens is like 10,000, maybe 10,000, 9,000. I don't know.
Differences in height, differences in smaller things like that.
Sure.
But we have the same capacity. So do you saying within that 100,000 years, this, let's just say, for the sake of argument, but you know what? We'll do the 300,000. Within this 300,000.
300,000. Well, I mean, like, arguably, Andrew Wilson is also a moron for not knowing that. Okay, because if he knew that Australopithecus was only 30,000 years ago, which is like a fact that we learned in grade school, all right, then he would have pointed her out. But he is also just simply accepting the premise of 300,000 years, which is not true, right? So that also tells me that he doesn't know as well, all right? So yeah, they're both morons.
Years,
right?
only 10,000 years ago, men figured out the technology of grape.
Yeah, I don't think, like, if you don't know that sex creates children, then your whole theory is that men are graping so that children can come into existence.
That's not my theory. That's your theory.
Hold on.
I think men.
That's not my theory.
Hide it in the sources. Go to the StreamYard, click the eyeball. No. Stay in OBS. Look at the sources tab. Just hide StreamYard. Just hide it. I apologize. We had a technical difficulty. You guys continue. Though.
Yeah, I think that men grape because they're horny too.
I disagree.
One sec, guys.
Oh, you disagree.
Hold on. Can you hide it here too?
I don't think grape happens specifically because of horniness. Okay, it's not solely horniness. It's not even close. Horniness may lower your inhibitions and open yourself up to more susceptible to dark actions born from dark thoughts. But the dark thoughts origin is not just simply because the origin of grape does not come only from horniness. It comes from probably antipathy, like antisocial behavior, maybe some degree of sociopathy, maybe psychopathy, maybe like basically a bunch of other shit that is not related to being horny. Has to be present, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's test that and see if you actually do disagree. Does every single time you have sex with a woman require consent?
Well, I would say sex implicitly.
She's acting like grape is a social construct. Yeah, like, oh yeah, they call it agua in Mexico, right? Same thing.
By definition, would be consensual. If it's not, then it's grape.
So then every instance of sex would require consent?
Correct.
Okay. So if a husband wakes up in the morning and he has a boner and he leans over and starts banging his wife while she's asleep,
Oh, here he
is
is.
he graping her? He is. Why is he doing that? Because he's horny?
I think because he assumes he has consent.
Yeah, so he's horny. So therefore, if it is the case that he's still graping her, even if he assumes he has consent and does not, that he's graping her because he's horny, right?
No, I don't think that he thinks he's graping her.
Doesn't, but that has nothing to do with the fact of the matter. You said that.
Does the ever think that they are the one graping their victims, right? See, now that's something that is also worth pointing out, right?
Well,
Men
the
do not
motivation behind grape is not that they're horny.
That's definitely his motivation behind that grape.
No.
I would not agree with her reasoning. I think that I would word it like before a grape happens, if a person is horny, then their inhibitions are lowered, all right? But that thought has always been something that is there, okay? Like the idea that you want to kind of force yourself onto there. You already have the precursors to want to do something like that.
Oh, because he doesn't think he's graping her.
Why would it matter whether he thinks he's doing that or not?
Because that determines the motivation, right?
You're saying that men have to think that they're doing the act in order for them to be motivated to do the act?
No, not at all. I'm not saying that men don't commit grape unknowingly.
Can we stop calling it a grape? Can YouTube just like stop fucking panicking every single time we say these words, please?
Okay, so this guy is graping his wife, which, by the way, means that I've graped my wife. I don't know how many times.
That's a weird thing to admit.
No, I'm fine with it. Like, if
You're fine saying that you've graped your wife?
Yeah, if you think that me rolling over in the morning and she's asleep and waking her up with sex is grape,
Well,
then
I
I'm
mean,
fine with it.
she's unconscious.
She's asleep for sure.
Yeah, like I said before. Okay, so now looking at the full context, he still admits to it, right? Then I don't get what's wrong. Am I stupid? Am I delusional? Am I a moron? Right? It just seems like to me in this case that he is essentially admitting to the act, right? His perspective does not matter, right? His perspective does not matter. What matters is the perspective of the person being aimed at in the lawsuit, right? The defendant. The defendant is the person whose perspective matters in a defamation lawsuit, right? He literally admits it. He said, okay, according to your point of view, I raped my wife. Hey, isn't that the only thing that matters?
That's unconscious, right?
Sure. Yeah.
If she had too much to drink and passed out.
Yeah, we've done that too when we're both drunk. Yeah.
Well, I mean, where she passed out.
Yeah. She's also graped me by the.
I bet that Andrew Wilson feels so manly, and he thinks this is so epic that he's admitting to this. Okay, future him is going like, no, Andrew, no, Andrew, no. Future version of Andrew is going, no. But like at the time, I bet when Andrew was saying all these things, he never thought that he would be in this position. Okay, rip, GG Andrew.
This metric too. She's woken me up with sex. I didn't consent.
I just want to make sure I understand what you're saying here. Are you saying that you've raped your wife while she's been passed out?
I'm saying while my wife has been sleeping, I've woken her up with sex many times, and vice versa. So did we grape each other?
By definition, yeah.
Yeah. So we're both. She grapes me sometimes. I grape her sometimes.
I think
a little grape.
Forced penetration is still grape.
A little grape here, a little grape there. She grapes a little. I grape a little.
That's weird.
We all do a little bit of graping.
Why?
If Steven sued a woman who said that he was a grape supporter for saying that stealthing, which is essentially pulling off your condom right before you put it in, okay, or before you come or whatever, all right, for saying that stealthing is not grape or something or whatever, or not the same level there, he doesn't have a case. The reason why he wouldn't have a case is because from her perspective, he is being a grape supporter, okay? So even removing Andrew Wilson from the situation, all right, in my opinion, this is retarded, right? Yeah, from my, like, the only perspective that matters is whether or not the defendant is a true believer, right? Is the defendant a true believer, or is the defendant not a true believer, right?
Totally not weird,
I mean,
by the way. I'm just going to tell you, this is the norm. What's that?
Would you continue if she didn't wake up?
I don't know. Half the time I'm drunk, right?
So you don't know if you would continue?
No, I don't think I would continue if she didn't wake up.
Why?
I don't know, it's less fun.
Who the fuck is talking in the background?
It's right. So obviously you want your partner to be conscious, enthusiastic.
Yeah, but she wasn't conscious when we started.
I understand that.
Yeah,
but
so a little grape there.
So if you
here.
then why not just wake her up?
You're so cool, man. You're so cool.
Why do I need? I am waking her up
Well,
with my penis.
Why not
I'm
just
waking
wake
her up
before
with my
penetration?
penis.
This
yes.
is crazy.
Why is that crazy? Do you know how common it is that men and women wake each other up? Like a man will be woke up by his girlfriend.
I don't care how common it is.
Yeah. So
What does that have to do with anything?
What makes it crazy?
Because they're unconscious.
So, do you know what implied consent is?
I do know what implied consent is.
There's an implied consent when you get married. It's implied that you're consenting to sex.
I don't think it's necessarily
Then do you have to
implied.
bite the bullet that my wife has me any number of times?
I've told you. I already agree with you.
And you think that that's rational?
That it's rational to say what?
Do you think that I'm emotionally scarred because my wife me or grapes me?
No.
But is she emotionally scarred by me her?
I mean, I don't know. Probably not.
So then grape can just be a neutral act where it doesn't harm anybody?
I mean, I definitely do think it can harm in certain capacities,
Sure,
even if you're not consciously aware of it.
Yeah, but it's not harming anybody,
I mean,
right? So grape can be morally neutral. I just want to make sure we're clear.
No.
What would make it morally bad? Demonstrate the harm. Who's being harmed?
Well, I think in some capacity, it would be the same harm that would come of someone engaging with someone who is like dead.
What?
I think the psychological, I think psychological aspect of wanting to
Demonstrate it. Demonstrate that there's harm.
One second.
Okay.
I think the psychological aspect of wanting to engage.
Okay, this is stupid. No, okay, what she's saying is stupid, but like the harm, okay, the harm, especially when it's not previously agreed upon, is that you could be violating her consent. Simple as, right? And the harm is coming to her, right? This is stupid, okay? Like this is what she's saying is stupid, all right? The harm is clearly coming from you're possibly violating someone's consent, or you're doing something without their like consent, or even implied consent. There probably isn't even an implied consent there, right? Yeah, that would be my stance, or what I would say.
Intercourse with someone who is unconscious is highly harmful.
Demonstrate it.
Demonstrate what?
How? So if my wife, you just got done saying, if my wife wakes me up.
It's classified as what is like paraphilic.
Help me out with this. I'm totally asleep, okay? Completely asleep, and I wake up, and my wife is giving me a blowjob. I wake up to that, okay? What's the harm? How have I been harmed? Tell me how this possibly is harmful to me.
I'm not saying it could be harmful to you.
So then grape is morally neutral sometimes.
No, I don't think it's morally neutral. Like, I don't think like...
What? Okay, now Andrew is being a retard. What the fuck? So grape is morally neutral sometimes? Okay, Andrew. I mean, whatever helps you sleep at night.
And what's the immoral part here?
I don't think harm necessarily has to come to the victim in order for it to be...
Then what would make this morally bad? What makes it morally bad?
I told you the psychology of wanting to engage in intercourse with someone who is unconscious.
Oh my god, they're both retarded. Never mind. They're both retarded. They're both retarded. They're both retarded. Okay. They're both deeply unserious retarded.
Yes.
Oh lord.
Okay.
Why is it?
You haven't explained how that's harmful or how that's bad.
One second. Would you engage with your wife if she were dead?
No, of course not.
Why?
Because her soul has left her body. She's not a person anymore.
Wait, so the reason why you like wake your wife up with sex, okay, is because that sleeping wife has a soul? You bang people just because they have a soul? Do you realize how retarded you sound? How utterly moronic you sound?
Her soul has left her body.
She's not a human being anymore. It'd be like fucking dirt.
Can you give
right?
me like the secular position?
Why do I need to give you any other position?
How
than
is
that?
it? I think it's...
Is it unethical to fuck something without a soul? So it's unethical to use a sex toy, right? Because the sex toy doesn't have a soul. The sex toy doesn't have a soul? Is that like kind of like banging a dead body, I guess, to you?
You need to give me from your position instead of
Either, I mean, like, okay, all right.
obfuscating what actually makes it immoral.
I'm trying to give it an analogy.
Yeah, well, can you just tell me this? What makes it immoral for my wife to wake me up with a blowjob? What makes that immoral? By the way, have you ever woken your ex-husband? Do you ever wake him up like that?
No.
Never? Never happened once?
Not that I... No.
No? All right.
I think that might just be a you thing. Okay, yeah, you might be a little alone here. Okay.
But you do realize this is very common, right?
Sure, yes.
And so just people are just commonly graping each other?
Yeah, I mean, I think there are a lot of instances where grape happens where people don't think they are graping someone.
So
that's a part of like miscommunication theory.
okay, great. I just want to make sure I get the correct or the...
Okay, miscommunication theory. Okay, whatever. I wish people would talk like regular people sometimes.
The answer to this question, correct. What is the actual harm? And demonstrate it for me logically, please. Or the immorality. Why is it immoral for my wife to do that to me?
Well, I mean, obviously, if we're talking about consent, I think the basis for that is the Fry's model, which is freely given, reversible, informed, enthusiastic, and specific. And so obviously it doesn't meet certain aspects of those criteria.
Why is that immoral?
I mean,
I like it. I like it when she does that. What is immoral
Then it's
about
not
her doing
rape,
that?
would it?
I want her to do that. I'm not conscious at the time. That's true. But I'm very fucking enthusiastic that I want to wake up that way. very enthusiastic about it.
Again, I think pleasuring someone who is unconscious is psychologically concerning.
I'm sorry about your mind state of concern. That's very Karen-ish of you, but can you tell me why it's immoral?
Sort of Karen-ish.
It's very your concern's very Karen-ish, but why is it immoral?
I would place it under like a paraphilic sexual behavior.
So all of the men out there whose wives have woken them up with sex, all of those women are
Paraphilic.
paraphilic.
I think the act itself.
They want to have sex with dead. They want to have sex with dead people.
I mean, paraphilic is just defined as like atypical sexual preferences, and to like.
Yeah, but you were saying
want
it was
to have
necrophilic.
sex with someone who's.
You were saying it was necrophilic.
Well,
earlier.
necrophilia falls under paraphilic.
Okay,
so does like.
Necrophilia. So
My brain hurts. My brain hurts, man.
do you think that there's tons and tons of women out there who are
there are
necrophiles?
obviously like necrophilia are two different things.
Do you agree
Paraphilic
with me
just means
that-
atypical sexual desires.
Do you agree-
This is also a weird form of flirting, man.
Like I would classify kink under that.
Do you agree with me that tons and tons and tons of women likely wake their man up with some sort of sexual
I already
favor?
did.
Yeah. So
Like
then,
asked and answered.
So then is that they're kind of necrophiles?
That's not what I'm saying.
Well, I don't understand what you're saying. It can't be. By the way, that doesn't make any sense. It can't be uncommon if it's common.
Well, it's if we're talking about like the experience of like atypical sexual behaviors, then yes, engaging with someone who is unconscious.
It's
Imagine you had a time machine and grabbed someone from the 1960s, sat them in front of this computer and forced them to watch at gunpoint with no context. Would they be able to piece together? Yes, because it's not like debates were invented in the 1970s, right?
common.
It is an atypical.
It's not atypical if you're saying.
But I think that they would be very confused by the terminology, but they would probably get the general gist, yes.
It's common. That would be typical.
Now, if you got a Victorian child, okay, to react to this, okay, now that's a different question.
I mean, in terms of like a common occurrence, sure, but in terms of like a common outcome of intercourse, it's not.
Yes, it is.
I'm sorry.
I think it's very typical.
You commonly start intercourse unconscious.
That's not what I said. I said it's very typical to do it, though. So, like, I don't typically eat gourmet caviar, but you would agree with me that it is typical that people do eat gourmet. It's like a typical behavior. You wouldn't say it's atypical to eat gourmet caviar, would you?
Again, just because something is common doesn't mean it's typical.
What does typical mean?
So I think like we could talk about frequency.
Well, let's
of
just make sure we
things.
get this right. What does
Well,
typical mean?
I'm trying to.
I just want to make sure I know what typical means.
Sure, one second. I think we can talk about things happening in common frequency.
Okay.
But in terms of how often things happen outside of that frequency is going to make it like, so 1% of 4 million is going to be a large number. So we could say it's common. But in terms of looking at it in a percentage, it's only 1%, so it's atypical.
Okay, so I don't understand how, when we're talking about behavior,
I would say it's atypical.
What is it? Okay, then what threshold does it need to meet to become atypical or for behavior, like percentage-wise?
I don't know.
So then how do you know what's atypical?
I would just say the classification. Do you think most people, when they have sex, are doing so unconscious or like with an unconscious
That's not
person?
what I said. No.
So that's my threshold.
Okay, well then, do you think that most people have sex missionary style or doggy style most
I
of the
have no
time?
idea.
What, if you had to guess? Because would that
What is this supposed to answer? Who cares?
make doggy style atypical?
Well, no, because again, we're talking about percentages.
Right. So then I would need to know what is the percentage before it becomes atypical.
Okay, do you need something to be a percentage? This is Loki's wager, okay? This is Loki's wager fallacy. But I wish that she knew what that was so then she can call it out, okay? This is Loki's wager, right? Just because you can't define where the boundary is does not mean that there is not two distinct things, right? And I suggest that you guys also learn what these terms mean, okay? Because it matters. It does, okay? It also matters in arguments with your friends, all right? Because a lot of people who are friends, a lot of normies as well will fall into a lot of these fallacies, okay? And you need to recognize, you need to recognize that, okay? Loki's wager is where the term comes from is Loki got out of a beheading situation because the executioner does not know where to actually make the cut onto the neck. And because the executioner cannot define where the neck ends and where the head begins, Loki essentially gets out of that situation. Loki gets to go free because the executioner cannot define when the head begins, right? So therefore, like if the orders were to separate his head from the body, right? And the executioner couldn't define, but that's ridiculous, right? Just because a person can't define exactly the micrometer where the head begins doesn't mean that there isn't a head and a body generally, right? So that is Loki's wager. Is just because you can't define a strict boundary does not mean that you cannot differentiate between the two, okay? And essentially what Andrew Wilson is doing is that he's doing a Loki's wager all the time. I think this happens all the time between him and definitions where, oh, well, when does something become atypical? When does something become typical? When does something become atypical? Okay, people don't really have a strict number for that in the first place, right? Just like how people don't really define when the head begins in the first place, right? By a specific number. That's a clip. Is there any editors here paying attention? That's a clip. Pay attention. Okay, you got to know when to clip.
I
Don't know.
don't know. Yeah.
Yes.
You should also tag Andrew Wilson, okay, when you do.
So then you can't really make the claim it's atypical.
Well, then how can we make the claim that anything is atypical?
Good question. I didn't make the claim it's atypical.
So
I
you
said
don't
it's
you don't think
typical.
like paraphilic sex desires exist?
Yeah, I think that we can definitely make claims to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. But when I guess the delineation here we're talking about is just typical versus not typical. I think that it's, if you're talking about what is common,
Yeah.
I think it's super.
He's the one making the argument that it's a level of being atypical that makes it wrong. That distinction needs more justification than just, well, at some point it will become atypical. Yeah, sure. I mean, she's a retard, right? But I'm just saying that Andrew Wilson loves to do this thing where, okay, at what point does it become atypical or typical? Like that is, I just don't feel like that's needed, right?
Super common that this happens all the time.
In terms of volume or in terms of percentage?
Both. Yeah. I think it's very common.
So you think this
So I
is
would
like
say
50% of sexual interactions?
No, but I think that 50% of people have had this sexual interaction.
But I'm asking in terms of if we were to classify all sexual interactions, what would this be a common where people start off intercourse with one partner unconscious?
No.
Foodshops community are DGG warriors. Oh, and this is the screenshot that was posted in DGG. It's Babe saying, subreddit is shitting on D's smile. Please defend the poor lad. Yeah. We don't tolerate anti-fan shit. We're actually a bunch of nice people. Yeah. This is like friendly brigading.
No,
Okay,
it's
so
not.
that's-
It's not going
that's
to be
what I'm
something.
saying.
It's not going to be. But that doesn't make it not common. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we're quibbling now. Like we're saying the same
But I'm sure I'll betray destiny any day, okay? You never know.
thing.
I hope we are.
But maybe we can semantically. Maybe we can
just,
semantically get here.
I mean, why would? Okay, yeah, you already answered.
Because I'm horny. That's why I do it,
Well,
and I enjoy it. I enjoy raping her. I enjoy it.
having sex with someone unconscious.
My wife, yeah.
Okay, great. So your case goes out the window, right? Like even if this was a joke, let's just say from her, let's just say her defense is that Tilly does not interpret this as a joke. Okay, your case falls flat then. Your case falls flat, right? Yeah. That's it. Boom. Done. Case over.
Yeah, I like it waking her up that way. Yeah.
But you said if she didn't wake up, you would stop.
I know she does sometimes. She's like,
I don't.
she's like, ah. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. And she's like, okay. I know. Yeah. She's like she can't believe this is happening. I've really
The fuck? What the
shocked her. And then she just she's okay with it. Is that wild? Am I graping her?
I think without having some.
Okay, quickly. Somebody turn Andrew's moan impression of his wife into a dono sound, okay? Right now, okay? Turn that into an MP4, upload it onto Gen Chat, okay? I'll put it in, okay? Thank you.
Form of like express consent, then yeah.
Yeah. Damn, I do this all the time. Like constantly.
Constantly?
I really do. Yeah, it happens all the time.
Constantly is crazy.
Yeah. Like anytime I wake up with a boner, if she's not awake, she's definitely getting woke up that way.
Well, why? I'm curious. Why don't you just wake her up?
I am waking her up with my penis.
I'm asking before. I'm asking what is the purpose of waking her up with your penis rather than just like jolting her?
Because I think it's hilarious and it feels great.
You get the same outcome whether you wake her up. If you wake her up,
It's like a big surprise for her, you know? Surprise!
What is wrong with you? I mean, like, I am laughing, but only I'm laughing at the absurdity of this. Like, no. Rather, I just don't understand why he would then sue Tilly. Like, him suing Tilly makes 0 sense. Okay? Him suing Tilly makes 0 sense. Like, zero. Right. No sense. Yeah.
prize if it's wanted.
I just assume it's wanted.
So you just assume consent.
From my wife? Yes, absolutely. And by the way, I'm just going to tell you, right? I completely stand behind this. This is not trolling.
I don't think you are
100%.
trolling. I'm
Not trolling. Guys, why does he think he has a case? Why does he think he has a case? What? He literally says I'm not trolling. Literally threw the joking defense right out the window with this one. He literally threw the joking defense right out the window with this one. Why the fuck would he? Bro, what is he thinking? What is he thinking? Somebody has to go back in time to tell him right before he does this debate to stop playing games. Like, what the fuck? What? I just can't believe it. Wow. Just wow.
I
would never suggest that
100%
you are
stand
trolling.
behind this, and I think it's not a big deal at all.
Okay.
Like, not even a little bit. And I actually haven't heard you demonstrate, because you said it's not harmful to her and it's not harmful to you. I actually haven't heard you demonstrate why this is even.
Clip it, guys. Okay. Doesn't matter if you clip me or you clip this segment of the video. Clip it, post on Twitter, and tag Andrew Wilson. Okay. Yep. This is silly. This is ridiculous.
Bad. They just kind of just think so.
What?
I mean,
What?
sure. I definitely think it's really icky that someone wants to have sex with someone who's unconscious.
Is it immoral?
Like, I think would you have sex with her if she were in a coma?
No.
So what? What is the delineation here?
Well, I just would get the ick. Ugh.
I'm just no.
I'd be like, eh.
I think this is beyond parody. Okay. I think we are now beyond parody. Okay. We have landed into the world of beyond parody. Okay. This is beyond parody.
No,
okay?
really. Like from your.
What if she has asthma?
She does have asthma.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just checking. Sorry.
What does that?
So-
What
sorry.
does that have to do with
That
it?
could like stun her into like a, you know, like she
Sorry.
can't breathe. Yeah, I don't know.
Rachel has
George Floyd. Okay. George Floyd. Ha 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 ha. Okay, go.
asthma right now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Never mind.
I'm sorry. What is?
Ha 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 ha. Okay.
Am I missing something? What does asthma have to do?
But
with
here's the
it?
thing. I will say this.
Okay.
I'm actually okay with my wife, like, having sex with me if I was in a coma. I'd be fine with that.
Bro, you are one freaky motherfucker, okay? You're one freaky deaky motherfucker, okay? You are freaky, okay? You are freaky. You are freaky. What?
That's
Okay.
crazy.
What is crazier than I thought it would be? This is unironically so much crazier than I thought it would. I thought it was gonna be boring, and it was just gonna be like, oh yeah, no context needed, blah blah blah. It's just gonna be whatever, right? But this is insane. It's insane though. Like, wow.
What's crazy about it? Why should she deprive herself because I'm in a coma?
I think when we're talking about like sexual
I guess. What?
experience, consent is definitely the foundation in terms of you're not only considering your experience, but you're also considering your partner's.
No, I'm just considering mine. Like, I just want to have a good time, so I wake her up with my penis.
Yeah, I think it's very harmful to not consider your partner's experience when engaging in intercourse, because it is a mutual experience.
Why does you think she does that to me then? Do you
Does
think
what?
she just doesn't respect me very much, that she would wake me up like that? Like, I just wake up and she's literally writing me? Don't you think that's horrible? for her
What
to
if
do?
she like you woke up with her like using her teeth?
What do you mean?
Oh, Scott's.
What do you mean?
I really don't want to talk about the sex life you have with your wife. Can we make it maybe less about
This
you?
is just
and
this is super easy for us to get down to.
I don't know where we're going with this now. This has to be the single greatest debate segment I've ever seen in my life. This has to be the best debate segment I have ever seen in my life. Okay? In my life. In my life. Okay? I would let my wife fuck me while I'm in a coma, and she's saying, okay, what if she was using her teeth? I don't know what to say. It's just, this entire segment is immensely cursed.
This crazy ass idea you have.
What, that
Of
you
consent.
should want consent?
Yeah, so
from your
like here, I'll
partner?
give you an example. I'm drunk and a woman's drunk.
Wow.
Are we graping each other?
Yes.
Then do you think that that's not fucking crazy? No.
I mean, do you think like children engaging would be graping each other?
No.
Oh, yeah. See, I think I just have a higher standard for
Okay, you're retarded.
consent when it comes
No,
to
no. Wait, you said children?
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be, well, that wouldn't be grape. That would be something different, because it is true that they can't consent, right? But they both kind of can't consent together.
This debate keeps on getting more cursed. Okay, so she's like, oh, I don't want to talk about you and your wife anymore. So let's talk about two children. I don't know. What is the takeaway? What exactly is the takeaway here? Okay, go back to the wife. Okay, I want to know more about Andrew Wilson's sex life. Okay, I would rather know more about that than whatever this is. What is going on here?
So
Right.
I don't think they understand the ramifications of what they're doing. I think if you're drunk, you do. I don't think that being
Wait,
drunk
but
gives you a
I just
pass.
put your logic into a different scenario. So
No,
so
it's
we
not
can
the same logic.
How is it not?
Because in one you don't understand, the other one you do. Like one you don't have the capacity
I mean,
for
again, it depends how drunk you are. You might not have the capacity.
Okay, then if I get drunk and murder somebody, not my fault.
I mean, people have gotten
didn't
off for
consent.
murdering people in their sleep.
Yeah, so I didn't consent to murder, right? So therefore, no big deal.
I mean, you didn't consent. I don't know what that has to do with anything in
Well, I'm
terms
just
of
saying,
the rights violation.
If you grape when you're drunk, are you responsible for that?
Yes.
So I don't understand. Then I'm actually really confused. So
Will this do?
I don't.
she's like, and I'm like, yeah, that's right. And she's like, okay.
This is a masterpiece. I will use this immediately. Thank you.
You can be held responsible for the actions that you take when you're drunk.
Yeah.
I don't.
She's like, and I'm like, yeah, that's right. And she's like, okay.
I don't.
She's like, and I'm like, yeah, that's right. And she's like, okay.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, like even if you're
so-
blacked out and you get in your car and you drive and you kill someone, yeah.
Okay, so then why can't two people consent when they're drunk?
Consent meaning to agree, because obviously it doesn't meet the criteria of being informed.
Okay, so I don't understand. Then why wouldn't it be attempted murder instead of murder if you
Well,
killed
because
someone
you
when you're
did kill
drunk?
them, right? I mean, I guess if you tried and you failed, it would be attempted murder.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
Okay.
Even though that makes no sense, I'll just let it go. Just to try
How
to,
does that make no sense?
I'll explain.
Okay.
So let's say two people.
I will say I don't agree with this woman. Like I don't agree with this woman on a lot of the things that she's saying. But you know what? She's holding stance. She's holding stance. Okay. She's stoic. She is stoic. Okay. She's not faltering, despite the fact that they're already 2 hours in by now. Yeah. Despite the fact that they are 2.5 hours in, she is not wavering. Okay. That's impressive. Okay. That's impressive. All right. Yeah. And she seems to be confident in the things that she is saying. All right.
Grape each other. Why aren't both of them brought up on charges for grape?
Well, most people who grape aren't brought up on charges.
Yeah, I know, but that's not my question. My question is, if two people get drunk and have sex, they're graping each other, shouldn't both of them be charged with a crime?
I mean, in theory, yes.
So do you think that we should mobilize law enforcement to enforce that?
I mean, I think, again, it's, what do you mean immobilize?
You know what? Maybe I'll make this the $100 super chat. Okay. Maybe I'll make that into the $100 super chat sound. The Andrew Wilson moaning. It's something that will probably get me banned from YouTube.
Law
okay?
enforcement.
Well, it's not okay for me to grape somebody or them to grape me, right?
Right.
Why would it make it okay for us to grape each other at the same time?
I'm not saying it's okay.
Okay, great. Then it
Yeah,
should fall
like, do
under
you
the crime
think-
of grape.
Do you think if like I go out with my best friend and then I wake up in bed with them naked and, you know, we assume that we had sex, that isn't harmful to
Sure.
if it's something that you didn't want to do?
Sure. I think it's harmful too.
Okay.
Yeah. So then people who get drunk and have sex should go to jail.
I mean, I think
If both of them got drunk or one of them got drunk.
yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of going to jail, I think it's going to be really hard to establish.
Establish
in
what?
terms
You
of-
want rapists to go to jail, right? Yes or no?
Well, I don't think that.
Okay, wait, I wanna test this out. Oh no, not export this alert. No, I didn't want to press that. No. Sorry, accept. Yes. Okay. Save changes. Okay, let's do a test. Let's do a little tippy test. All right. So let's just say this is $100 super chat.
Happy feet. One more combo.
Wrong one. Wrong one. Wrong one. Oh, stop! Stop!
This is a
Too
test
loud.
message.
Oh my god. Never mind. Wait, did I download the right one? Okay, I'm so confused. What? This is the Andrew Wilson one, right?
I don't.
She's like, ah.
Oh, okay, all right, it is. Okay. Okay. Oh Jesus Christ. Jesus. God help us all. Wait, then why isn't it working? It's super chat, right? Yeah. Wait, let me try it.
Happy feet. One
Stop!
more combo.
Stop! Ow, my ears! Stop!
This is a test message.
My god, dude. Okay, wait. Let me try out members. Gifted member. Okay, so if there's there's at least 50 if there's at least 50 gifted subs. No, 20 gifted subs. Wait, no, 20 is 100. Yeah, 20 is 100. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me try. I just don't get why. Why is it not working? I just don't get why it's not uploading. Oh, is it because of the name? I'm gonna call it something else then. Okay. Oh, I bet this is not gonna work. Okay, watch. Okay, please do not destroy my ears. Please do not destroy my ears. I'm begging you, please do not destroy my ears. Please do not destroy my ears. Okay? Why do you still have that here? Stop! Wait, why do I have one for 50 donated subs? I'm gonna remove that one. I don't think that's common enough to warrant that existing. Okay, does this work? Member? 20. Okay, that's not the right one. This one. Okay, all right. Close your ears. Close your ears, please.
It's like, ah. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. Okay.
Okay, we need to turn up the volume. Perfect. Turn up the volume to 30%. Okay, save changes. All right, gift sub. 20.
Ah.
I don't.
She's like, ah. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. And she's like, okay.
Okay. What is wrong with me, man? I think I have issues. I think there's something deeply wrong with me. I don't know why I'm doing this. I need to stop. Okay? Like there's something deeply wrong with me. Okay? Or maybe I don't need fixing. What if I'm right? Just the way I am. Wait, hold on. Let's try super chat again, but this time with this soundbite.
Ah.
Please
I
don't.
don't.
She's like, ah.
Perfect.
And I'm like, yeah, that's right. And she's like, okay.
This is a test message.
Turn up their first I should make it louder, okay? I'm gonna try to make it louder so everyone gets to enjoy Andrew's voice. Okay. Also, he sounds like he's a veteran at it. Good for him. Okay. Practice king. Okay. Real voice. I'm pretty sure that's his real voice. 30. Yeah, ready. Ooh, okay.
Ah.
I don't.
She's like, ah. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. And she's like, okay.
This is a test message.
Okay, perfect. All right, guys. If you guys donate $100, whether or not it's in, actually, let me change that as well on Kick. Okay. If you guys donate that, whether or not it is on, subs or super chat, yeah, you should produce that.
Like prison is necessarily an effective way to solve rights violations.
Where do you want rapists to go?
Well, I'm for reformative justice, so I'm against police and prisons. Are we talking about like what my ideal
Okay, she's retarded.
would be, or within this current society?
Within this current society, where should they go?
Within that aspect of two people got drunk and had sex with each other. So, is there?
No, that's not what I asked.
Are
I
they
asked
coming
where
forth as
should
victims?
where should grapists go when they grape? Should they go to prison or not?
I think they should go to some kind of mental health facility, or should have some kind of duty to essentially address the harm that they've committed within society. I'm more on focusing.
Well, are you going to isolate them in this mental health
I think
facility behind bars?
It depends. It depends. Sure.
If they're raped, are you going to put them behind bars while they're getting help so that they're not part of society?
Yeah, it depends.
On what?
On obviously the context of the crime.
It's grape. That's the context. You have graped somebody.
Sure, but
Oh, I sure love describing it as grape. Oh my
Are you saying that some grapes are more morally bad than other grapes?
I'm saying that they have different treatments.
Okay, so if a man grapes a girl, right? She can't consent. She doesn't consent.
I mean, you say girl, you're talking child?
No, a woman. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, so he grapes a woman. He should go to jail, right?
Clarification, I don't know why it's so funny. Fuck me, dude. Oh my lord.
Well, I believe in restorative justice.
Yeah, okay. Wherever this guy goes, you want to keep him there while he gets this done because he's not going to consent to go to it, right?
Again, it would depend on context.
Okay. So he's at a party with a girl. She's drunk and he's not. He has sex with her. Did he grape her? She's drunk,
yes.
he's not. Okay, yes, he raped her. What should happen to that guy?
Like what would my sentence be?
Yeah.
That essentially, if we're talking about restorative justice, that he is educated on the harm that he committed, and that he receives mental professional help in terms of understanding his actions.
So does he go someplace for this to happen that he's not?
It makes a lot of sense if you aren't a fucktard like Andy Boy here. Yeah, but the thing is does she is she making a lot of sense? Like, is she making? You sure she's making a lot of sense? Just a reminder. Okay, hold on. Just a reminder that she's talking about like not being for prisons and shit. Like maybe like that's a very ANCOM communist perspective, is that you don't believe in prison.
Not allowed to leave until it's all done.
I don't know if I support that.
I mean,
Sorry.
in that context, yeah, it could be for a short duration of time, sure.
And is that place going to have like bars and guards and things like that in order to keep him there?
Maybe not bars, but maybe, like doors that lock.
Okay.
Sure.
And then he gets out and he goes and he does it again. What happens then? Where should he go then?
He would go back to the facility.
And then he does it
A
again.
long-term care facility, yeah.
Oh, long-term now.
Yeah.
Okay. And would that place have bars and guards so he couldn't leave?
Again, not bars and guards, but yeah, doors that lock, attendants.
So what happens if he escapes? Like he doesn't want to do it and he leaves?
And he leaves. Then he would be brought back.
And so it's likely that most people would want to leave. They don't want to be there, right?
That's essentially prison, right? Like,
Sure.
Yeah. So then wouldn't you do something to keep them in? Like what, bars and guards?
I mean, I'm answering the same, you're asking the same question and I'm answering
Well, because
it.
so it's like this. They go to a mental health facility. The reason I'm asking, but now it feels like I have to pry it out, so I'll just spell it out, right? They escape, they do the same crime. You're going to take them back to the same facility. They escape, they do the same crime. You're going to take them back to the same facility.
The difficulty with your example is that you're making a lot of presuppositions.
Yeah.
Is that if, someone commits this act, that they have a high likelihood of recidivism.
They do have a high rate of recidivism.
I don't think so.
Yeah, because they don't even think that they see it as a problem. Like, I don't think that two people get drunk and have sex even see it as an issue.
Well, then why are they filing a police report?
They're not. But here's the thing. Do they need to file a police report for me to file a police report? Somebody's been... No. I can file that report, right?
How would you file that report?
Like, if some chick got behind a dumpster and didn't want to come forward, I can still call the police and file a report saying I witnessed a rape.
Sure.
Yeah. So, you can...
how often does that happen exactly? A chick gets behind a dumpster, really? Is that something that happens extremely often? I bet that almost never happens. I bet that is a very common trope. Yeah, cliche, exactly. I bet that's a huge cliche, but I bet that the amount of times that has happened, IRL, in America specifically, is like 10 times a year. Has to be, all right? In total. 10 times a year. How often the fuck does that happen, right? How do you think most grapes happen? Most grapes are between couples. Most grapes are between couples, okay? Seriously, okay? So basically, I'm saying this is retarded.
Do the same thing with two drunk people.
Right.
Hey, officer.
But
She
again,
was drunk and he was drunk.
again,
and they
you're
fucked.
kind of see, and this is kind of the issue that I have when we talk about rape and like sexual violence, is that there seems to be like this notion that the judicial system or legislation can solve for these things and solve for these outcomes, and I just don't think that they can.
Well,
so
yeah, because
I think it
people don't
has
even
to be
agree.
more of a proactive measure.
I don't even
rather
think
than
people
a
agree with you,
reactive
though.
measure.
I don't even think they agree with you on this, that this is rape. I don't think that, so for instance, I don't think that two people who get drunk and have sex are raping each other. I think that that defies what we mean by grape.
I mean, I think there's a level of degree, like you would say if someone is blacked out drunk and someone else is sober.
Yeah, I think that when we're talking about grape, we're talking about forcing yourself on somebody who doesn't want it. It's a violation. They're telling, like, I could even give you examples. Bill Burr famously.
No, this is also a stupid definition, and I understand why Andrew doesn't see himself as like he is his wife. Okay, I can see why he sees that, because essentially, number one, he already sees a marriage as implicit consent. All right, which is wrong, but you know what? That's his view. Okay, which is always wrong, but anyhow. So it doesn't matter what state his wife is in. It will always be implied consent to him, right? Which is why he has his worldview. And as long, like, if his wife is unconscious, like blackout drunk, and he is not, he would probably justify that that is okay, even if she cannot say no, okay? But by most people's definitions, the vast majority and society's definition, if a person has the inability to say yes and the person has the inability to say no, then therefore it is grape, right? Uh-oh. Is it going to do the thing?
I don't.
She's like, ah. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. And she's like, okay.
Does it work?
It does actually work. Musblue, thank you so much for the $100. Holy shit, dude. Oh.
This is the dankest dungeon.
Wait, holy shit, where's this coming from? Corey, thank you so much for the 10 gifted subs on Kick.
Anonymous dispensation.
Jesus Christ, Zorp, thank you so much for the
Hope you are
$50.
well. Keep on it.
Thank you so much for the $50, Zorp. I appreciate that. I'm glad that you're still watching me, even though I don't really cover Destiny's case because there hasn't been any updates. Yeah, because I thought that you were only here because I defended Destiny on his court case. But, I'm glad that you're sticking around despite that. Okay, despite me not really like covering that day to day anymore because there's just no updates. There's nothing for me to say. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for that 50. And also Museflute. Okay, that's a massive, massive dono. Okay, thank you so much for the $100. All right, just want to say thank you once again. All right, I hope you're enjoying Titanfall. All right, so thank you so much for that. Corey, thank you so much for the 10 gifted subs on Kick. I really appreciate that. I guess coincidentally, you guys all donated at the same time. I must assume it's a coincidence because yeah, otherwise that would be mighty kind. Okay, like crazy in a kind way. Yeah, but yeah, I really I really appreciate the sudden $200 in total donation. Okay, keep it going. Okay, I appreciate that.
He had the bit where he was like, no doesn't always mean no. And the feminist says, yes, it does. And he's like, no, it doesn't. Because you can have things like, no, stop, no. And they're completely teasing. And you laugh because
Saki, thank you so much for the tier 5. You've been a member for 10 months now. I'll donate tomorrow. You just donated just now. That's a donation. Renewing your sub is a donation. So thank you. I appreciate that. That's $50. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you. Also, you better not be broke.
because it's true, right? It doesn't
I'm
actually
not
always
laughing
mean
because
no.
I think it's funny.
Yeah, but it doesn't always mean no. No doesn't actually always mean no.
I didn't even beg for money all that much today. So, I do appreciate that.
Do you think that gives like young men the impression that when they hear no, that it's like a negotiation opportunity?
I think sometimes it is. It's pretty obvious.
Why?
Like, it's super obvious to me that, like...
You want to talk someone into having sex with you?
Yeah, no. But I think
I'm sorry. I just want to let you know, like...
No, I mean, Andrew from his worldview wouldn't even be talking someone into sex, right? Like he would just get it, right? Like, just to be very clear, like he would just acquire it, right? Like he would just have sex, right? No consent.
I need a bathroom break soon.
Yeah,
we can
I'll
do
have
that.
a smoke
Okay.
too
We'll do
while you
that.
do that. So,
Okay.
Sure.
But just to finish this point.
No, I just wanted to...
Dude, they debated for 8 hours. What is wrong with them? Wait, actually, you know what? I can imagine Andrew could be used to debating for that long as well. Like, just because he's like okay, I hate calling him a professional debater, but technically he is a professional debater, right? But like, I don't know who she is. I disagree with a lot of her beliefs, but dude, 8-hour debate with Andrew? She better be paid thousands of dollars for this. She better be paid thousands of dollars for this. A 7.5-hour debate with Andrew Wilson? Are you actually fucking kidding? What is wrong with you, man?
No, so very, very simple. I think
Jesus.
that when, I might be playing with my wife or messing around with my wife, for instance, and say something like this, like, maybe she goes, "Stop, don't, stop."
The soundbite opportunities just keep coming, dude.
Stop, and then
Oh my god, someone record that. Babe, are you there? Record this too. Record this too. Come on. Record this too.
I might be playing with my wife or messing around with my wife, for instance, and say something like this, like, maybe she goes, "Stop, don't, stop, stop," and then she doesn't really want me to stop, though, right? It's a big, like, there's body language and chemistry that comes with the human experience.
Sure. Obviously, you're in like a committed and established relationship. Sure.
So no doesn't always mean no.
I think that, sure, context dependent. I think it can obviously, like, if we're like obviously consent, CNC.
Yeah, I think that's different.
Well, that's another context, though, right?
Yeah, it is, but I think that no doesn't always mean no, and that it is context dependent.
I hate this entire conversation. I hate everything. This thing sucks. Okay? I hate everything. This is trash. I hate everything. I don't want to live on this earth anymore. Okay? This is just, I hate having to listen to this. This is really cursed. Okay? I'm losing my mind. I'm rapidly losing my mind.
And I think that the
You can store that mining outfit in your POH, by the way. Gotcha. I'll probably do that.
idea that two drunk people having sex
Wait, why do I have so much soul runes? What the fuck? Where did I get that
are
from?
graping each other, and it's just okay because one
Again,
grape,
it's
one grape
depending on
cancels
degree,
out the
right?
grape. It seems like if both of them are graping each other, it's a contradiction in terms, like a paradox. The paradox is, grape is, from your view, can't consent, and yet if they're
It's an
both
aspect of
if they're
it,
both
yeah.
enthusiastically graping each other, they seem to be enthusiastically consenting. So, like, how do two people mutually grape?
Obviously,
My head hurts.
They're not
you're
consenting.
under the influence.
So what?
That obviously affects aspects of judgment, just like
Then you
your capacity
chose-
for brain development.
Yeah, but you're both under the same effect.
Right. I never said.
So grape is -1. So -1 times -1 is 1. So if both people are graping each other, they're both consent. Okay, my brain hurts now.
You
Like
are.
willingly. Like, I don't know about you, but you do agree that it's very common for people married, unmarried,
Oh,
everywhere
for sure.
in between
Yeah, I
to
think
have
people
sex.
are drunk all the time.
Yeah, and they have sex when
Yeah.
they're drunk. In fact,
But I mean, I'm sure you yourself would have a line, right?
yeah, there would
Yeah.
be a line, sure.
And where is that line?
You mean of when I wouldn't? Like if a chick was passed out or something crazy?
So if she were like falling down, slurring her words, couldn't hold like her phone, still fair game.
No, I think that's a little much for me. But
don't you think then
Well, I mean, I don't care whether or not it's like little much for him. Like, what if he has a friend, okay, who does that? Okay, like it isn't a lot for him. I don't care about Andrew Wilson's own personal preferences as much as I can make fun of him for it. Okay, but let's just say, what if you were into that? Would you then do it? Like, if that was your thing, would you then do it? If you didn't get a sense of ick, would you then do it? Right? That's the question I'm asking. Okay.
might be a
line
little
would be
more. That
arbitrary.
might be a little much for me, right? I don't think that I could say that some guy her because she was really drunk, and she said yes. Like I don't know
She
how I
doesn't
could
even
say
have the
that.
motor skills to hold a phone. But
Well, now you're changing it to like semi.
I didn't. That's exactly what I described.
That's semi-conscious at that point.
right,
So,
that's exactly what I described.
Yeah.
She's dropping her phone, she's
yeah.
slurring.
So that's semi-conscious at that point.
So semi-conscious is not okay.
yeah, she's basically half out of the bag.
Yeah,
like she's
so-
gone.
And
like if you're
obviously
that
this is gonna be
faded,
arbitrary,
if you're
right?
that faded, sure. right? But
Yeah.
if the guy is that drunk and she's that drunk,
I mean, again, like, what are we classifying as like drunk, I guess?
whatever you just said, motor skills gone, whatever. You're both that smashed, and then you go home and you bang each other from your view. You're graping each other. That seems way more absurd to me.
I don't know why. I don't know why you like can't think that you can.
Because what it does is it
engage
infers,
in
because it infers that there's grape that's morally neutral. And I think that grape would always necessarily have to be bad for me to classify it as grape.
I don't think that just because two people like are not of the capacity to give informed and enthusiastic consent, that makes it morally neutral.
Well, you have to tell me what makes it morally bad then, because you still have not done that. You just kind of keep on reverting to descriptors without giving me the actual, this is actually bad, this kind of grape because of what? Because of what? What actually makes it, like, if both parties wake up in the morning and they look over and go, who are you? And I don't know. And the other one's like, I don't know either, but we definitely had sex last night. And neither of them care, right? Like, what's the problem here? Who's actually been violent? Like, well, how could that be a morally bad thing?
That you wake up next to a stranger and you can't remember you had sex, but yet you don't care?
No. That definitely had to be grape on both parties, right? Had to be.
I think the harm is, again, the fact that you would engage in intercourse with someone of that.
This is so typical, whatever. Pull on a woman with strong opinions but awful ways of conveying her point. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. There are plenty of coherent women out there, okay? I think watching some clips of Charlie, I think Charlie did a pretty good job, but yeah, this is a little bit rough, okay? Like she doesn't know how to convey her points that well. And I think that Andrew is taking advantage of that. Like, it's not hard to convey they can't properly consent. That is the bad thing Andrew is looking for. Yeah. I mean, yeah, but at the same time, I think most people are just bad at debating, okay? Like, most people are just bad at debating, but then regardless, right? Like, obviously that's not an excuse for her, right? She is in a way representing all women, right, in this debate. I think that she does have a responsibility to debate well, right? Because when you're debating on a stage in front of thousands of people, I think that you do have a moral responsibility to debate better, right? So
Capacity. And
both of you are in that capacity.
I know, but again, that this is like an experience that is desired.
Is the male more culpable in this situation?
No.
If they're both equally drunk, is the male more culpable?
Andrew does this shit where he asks the same question a 10-year-old would, but he asks people with the thinking capacity of a fucking 9-year-old.
I don't know why he would be.
Yeah, I don't either.
Sure.
Because I think that people typically think about it too deeply. I think that's the truth of what's happening. I think that people think about it too deeply, and that's why they stumble. All right.
That wouldn't even logically follow. But this doesn't still. You just gave me a descriptor. You still didn't tell me actually why it's bad. Like, why is it actually bad?
I did. I think essentially like your psychological understanding of how you engage in sex can be bad and harmful. Like, sure, maybe in this one instance you didn't hurt someone, but in another instance.
How's this?
She goes, stop, don't, stop, and then she doesn't really want me to stop though.
Perfect. It's fucking perfect.
That could very well be the case.
That could be for anything, literally anything.
Like what?
Like, just you pick up a chick and you have sex and your dick is too big. In this case, didn't hurt anybody.
I'm gonna change that to the $20 dono, okay? Because I don't want it to be $50 and $100. I need something else to be the $50, something more diverse.
The next case, it can hurt anybody.
That doesn't have to do with consent, though.
Yeah, but the point is like, you can put that standard to almost anything. You can put the standard of like, well, in this case, it didn't do anything, but next time it could possibly do something. It also could possibly not ever do anything. So like, that just seems so silly to me. And not only that, that really still doesn't answer to my question. So let's try it an easier way.
Okay. And then can we take
Yeah. Drunk guy, right? He's drunk, but he's not like lost all fine motor skills, but he's drunk. Okay. She's drunk, same thing, hasn't lost all fine motor skills, but she's definitely drunk. Okay. They go home and they have sex. Now, they both each other still by your standard. Okay. Both of them did. We agree on that.
Okay.
Okay. Do we agree on that? They did grape each other? Okay.
I mean, I guess yeah, sure.
So they wake up in the morning, they remember all of it, okay, which drunk people often remember what they did the night before. That's not uncommon at all. They remember all of it, and the guy leans over and says, "See you later, honey, I'm heading off to work," and gives her a kiss. She goes, "Okay, baby, that was a lot of fun last night," and away you go. What is actually the harm that happened there? What is actually immoral about that?
They're calling each other honey? You mean they're in a relationship? You mean how they have like a agreement already before? They like most definitely have talked about it with one another by that time? Yeah, but then I hate how she will not be able to answer that. Like, she will not be able to answer that. There's no way she is able to answer that. Like,
I'm sorry, is this a couple?
Yeah.
I think the harm is that, again, it's kind of like about the experience that you had with your partner when it comes to engaging in sex. Like,
They loved it.
You don't really know.
what? Oh my God. She is the master of throws. She's the master of throws.
In terms of your partner's capacity to consent. And
Yeah, but they both loved it. They both claimed to you, this was great. We had a great time. It was fantastic.
well, then I would say they weren't drunk.
They were drunk, for sure.
Way
Are we
beyond
just
the legal limit? Way going beyond the legal limit.
Yeah, and they just remembered what happened the night before, as drunk people most often do.
What would be the harm? I mean, again, I think the specific instance of the experience is the harm. Like, so maybe I can give you another analogy.
I wish women were better debaters. Why can't women be better debaters? It sucks. This went on for 8 hours. Yeah. I mean, Andrew himself is saying lots of insane shit, right? But he still feels like he is winning, right? He feels that winning energy. That's the issue, okay? He shouldn't be feeling that winning energy. He should feel like he is pressed, but he doesn't feel like he's pressed right now, okay? That's the issue. You need to make him feel as if he's pressed, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. I mean, I wish more women debated, man. I wish more women debated, man. I wish there was more practice for women to be engaging in debating and stuff. I wish they could have more opportunities to engage in more practice. I think it's kind of like a self-destructive cycle where because debating is such a masculine thing to do, because debating is kind of like masculine coded, women don't engage in it, but the women who do engage in it have a tough time because they're constantly being demeaned on, right? So therefore they go onto the debate stage and they embarrass themselves, which then causes other women looking at them to go, oh, this is why we can never be good debaters, right? Or it causes them to gaslight them, and you don't actually analyze the flaws in her reasoning, and then it's a self-feeding vicious cycle of women not ever becoming good debaters, because you're going to have people who are debaters in training, okay, seeing the big stage like this and then going like, oh shit, this woman is failing, rip. And then yeah, I don't know, like, and then that's how debate stays a very masculine thing. So you have to have like, and then in the end you still have to rely on men to debate women points, like pro women points, which just feels really cucked, like there's nothing intrinsically wrong with it, but it just feels very cucked from like a more woman perspective, right? Because it feels like, oh, women can't defend themselves even verbally, right? Not only are they weaker physically, but they're also weaker verbally. That's just generally a very sucky feeling, Yeah. But I also think it has to do with like social conditioning, where women are just generally conditioned to be more submissive in society. And I think that also contributes to a lot of difficulty to pushing back. I don't know. It's tough. Okay. It's kind of funny how she inadvertently is making him spill problematic tea. Yeah, I mean, like, Andrew Wilson has essentially dug himself a hole, okay? I don't really give a fuck about this particular debater, but Andrew Wilson, I mean, what really matters at the end of the day is me talking about Tilly, right? She's not Tilly, so I don't care, okay? But Tilly, again, is calling Andrew Wilson a right? And we just heard from this debate that Andrew Wilson admits that he is a from the woman's point of view, right? So then my question is, why does he think that Tilly is defaming him? Why does he think that Tilly is issuing a defamatory statement for something that she has just reason to believe herself? right? Because if from her perspective, he is a rapist, well, I mean, to her, that's the absolute truth, right? It's not like she is making that up off of no basis in an effort to smear him. That's not happening, right? So yeah, I don't think he has any case here. I mean, that's not even talking about the fundraiser that Andrew Wilson has that he totally does not need, right? Like, just to get one thing straight, he totally does not need that fundraiser because he has enough money to hire a lawyer, to talk to a lawyer, to possibly get a case out, all right? But the fact that, I don't know, he still made a fucking GoFundMe, like, is disgusting. I think that is probably one of the more disgusting parts.